Oh, welcome. We are live on Facebook. Yay.
Hot dog.
Oh, hello, Mickey.
Hello.
To this beautiful day of a full moon. I was out last night and looked at it. It was so beautiful last
It
night.
was gorgeous.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. This is a funky, fat full moon, I'll tell you. It's one to make note of.
And I'm trying to look up real quick to see the timing. So the full moon in New York time, so Eastern Daylight Time
Yeah,
is 4
4:37.
4:37 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm 9:37.
Correct. Yes. Got it.
Which, as we were just talking about, is hilarious to me because uh, when I look at the one here in England, the full moon has come up with Capricorn rising and the moon sitting right on the top of it and Pluto sitting right underneath. But when you look at it in New York, it has Scorpio rising.
Ah, interesting.
So it's a whole different thing. The moon and Pluto for you over there is all about your money. Scorpio rising,
Ah,
the
oops,
second house.
interesting. Okay, I'm okay. I'm still trying. I was trying to get comments up again. Facebook has been very unkind lately.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's before we go too far, let's just say that Mickey's internet has been out all morning, so we're lucky to have her. And the first time I tried to Zoom over to Facebook, it told me that there was something very wrong. So try later. So
Yeah.
so we're here and we'll try to get
So
as
we'll
much
see you at
in.
midnight.
Well, we're trying to get as much in as we can before we get lost. I do see that Audrey is over there. Hi, Audrey.
Hello.
Yeah. All right. So that being
Hello, Audrey.
said, we're here and we hope to be here for the rest of the day.
Put Buddha back. Buddha bless you.
Yes. And I'm still trying to adjust my windows so that I can see everything. Okay. All right.
This is one for the books, folks.
It feels it. Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going on astrologically?
Well, uh, funny you should ask.
That was my cue.
um, as we were saying, this one, although we all know what the full moon is about. It's about okay, it's the other half of I want, I wish, I desire. I'm going to make it happen. But then you get the second half of the ritual, so to speak, where we're going to find out how well we did in terms of arranging our desires and setting our goals. So the second half is the full moon when it says, okay, now we're going to see what you conjured up. And on top of that, however good or bad it went, on top of that, Saturn is going to join it. And not only does it join it, I didn't mention to you, it's retrograde.
Oh.
Now, why is it a trip for it to be Saturn? Well, for me over here, I got Capricorn rising. So, yes, that's a biggie for me. It'll work out in ways
Hmm.
having to do with real deep responsibility. Saturn wants you to be very practical, wants you to take a realistic look at things and be responsible for what you see. So that brings in this issue of how much do you know and how ignorant are you? This particular full moon is one of the most important, if not the most important one of the year. So the conclusions you come to about how well you did when you were manifesting and whatnot, those things are really important because they're going to apply, they're speaking to everything about how much you know about your process of manifesting. And Forgive me. But the first thing I want to know is how ignorant are you? Okay? If you don't know diddly squat, then when you ask for something, you're going to get diddly squat. So people say, I mean, I don't want to get into, I'm not going to study it, and I'm not going to, yeah, but you're going to get exactly what you earned.
Hmm.
Saturn is about your S just came due. Whatever you earned, whatever you've been putting out to other people, it's about to turn a big mirror in front of you and say, how do you like it? Okay, so know to expect that and clean up your act because you are about to get your karma back. That's why it rules karma. It's about the blowback from whatever you've been putting out. Now, it's the father figure in the scheme of things. So he's saying, did you think of this? And did you cover that? And have you been responsible for this? And do you realize it's that? Okay. And to top it off, she laughed maniacally. The planet Uranus, which I don't really pronounce Uranus, but it's Uranus. Um, it's all about abrupt change.
Yeah.
It's about expect the unexpected, which we were talking about last time.
Hmm.
Well, it's now due as well. So what you earned is coming back to you, and you should expect it to be exactly what you weren't looking for, what you didn't expect. Okay? So the full moon, called I think it's the buck moon,
Yeah.
it's happening in on an axis of, the two things are across from each other. The sun and the moon are now going, oh.
Hmm.
Well, that's going on in Cancer and Capricorn. So we're talking about family issues requiring your immediate response, sense of responsibility. Okay, your parent, your awareness to look at it from a parental mindset of, are you responsible for this, this, and this? Did you think of this, this, and this as well? And blah, blah, blah. But it's all within the context of your family, your close ones.
Hmm.
And so that kind of sets the stage for what we're about to go through. Now, what I didn't say is that when Uranus goes in there, it goes in for 8 years.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Oh gosh.
So we're just gonna
So,
have all the time in the world to get used to that one.
hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Uranus will be in there 8 years, and it goes from now, July of 2025, to May of 2033.
Wow.
So
Okay.
now we're being warned, as it has the starting gun, from here on out, for 8 years, expect the unexpected.
Hmm.
Okay? And when you turn on the news and you look at the world events, that's not hard to imagine.
Yeah.
Okay?
Hmm.
So this is to set you up to kind of be ready. Um, Uranus means that you need a mental upgrade. It brings in the unexpected and says, hey, you thought you could do it this way and this way, but I'm telling you, quick, quick, turn around and go this way.
Hmm.
And this is going to be radical. When Uranus brings it, it's not subtle at all. It's very radical. Uranus doesn't do subtle. Okay? So ideas and communication are shifting very fast.
Hmm.
Just fasten your belts. We've been saying that to them for what, 6 months?
We have, and the metaphysical community has been saying things are speeding up, things are speeding up. Now all of a sudden things are really speeding up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The gap between the worlds, the
Mm.
veil, as they call it, between the worlds, that crap has been snatched down and stomped on.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing folks who never spoke about woo woo say, I can't believe it. I actually picked up so and so and so, and I couldn't believe it. Yeah, believe it. I've been telling you that was possible, but you thought I was full of crap. And you and your woo woo. Well, woo just hit woo, baby cakes. And
Yeah.
it's getting ready to slap you straight in the mouth.
Well, we are picking up new people. I see, let's see. Carol is on. She said hi. Judy said hi. And then
Hello, Carol. Hello,
Car-
Judy.
Carol has a question. She said, when is the last period that Uranus was having this influence?
Oh, I will have to check that for you. I have my program open, but I would have to stop talking and stop paying attention to the broadcast to look it up, to find it in the astrological program that I use. Um, I'm not sure how long ago it was. In some of the things I was looking at to prepare for this, it mentioned several times, but it wasn't in a context I can convey at the moment. But I will check that. Now, who asked?
Carol.
Carol. Okay. Well, we talk, so I will definitely be able to
Yeah.
tell you about that.
And now I want to
But
say,
I tell you this much.
I want to say one more person. I saw somebody on that sent a like bubble up, and it was Ron Card. But
Oh,
he hasn't said anything. But I know Ron Card is out there listening, so I want to say hi to Ron
oh,
too.
that's nice. Hi, Ron. Gosh,
Yeah,
it's nice to know you're out there. We've got the self expert sitting in here on our self discussion.
we absolutely do. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, yes. Yeah,
Oh, that's really cool.
that's
Big
my
hugs, baby. Big, big hugs.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Well,
Well, and
this is
if you want to talk Seth, we are 55 years into his prediction of
yeah,
all of this change is going to be over by what, 2075. So
right,
we're over the halfway hump. We're on
right.
the way to things being completed, as the way Seth saw them.
Well, for anybody who thinks that she's not telling you the truth or doesn't know what she's talking about, take a look outside and see what's going on. Because everywhere you look, everybody is talking about the occult. They're talking about meditation. They're talking
Yeah.
about manifesting. My God, there must be 35, 40 people that pop up on my reels talking about, let me help you manifest. Well, everybody and his mother
Yeah.
is out there hawking some kind of coaching.
Yeah.
If I
They
see
are.
another coach, it'll be too soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. However, wait, I take that back. As you know, I felt like that, but I ran into a coach recently. He didn't call himself a coach, so I
Oh,
wouldn't have even paid attention. But through some very woo-woo means, this person was led to pop up on my Facebook with the eyes of my friend superimposed over the eyes in the video so that I would know, hey, I want you to see this. And this person has a coaching program about manifesting and one about how to get complete command of your nervous system. And his premise is you can try manifesting all you want, but if you don't have a good grip on your nervous system and understand safety issues inside, if you're not feeling safe, you're not going to create a thing. So I started taking the program, and right off the bat, the very first day, I was floored, absolutely floored. So stay tuned, and I'll tell you all about it. But in 3 days, it has tackled three excessively massive things that I didn't even know were wrong.
mm, hmm.
That's what blew me away. What are you talking about? What? Oh, God, I didn't think about that. And it turns out that the first problem that I was told to address was a feeling of unsafeness that had started in 2009.
Oh.
So, how about that?
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
yeah, I had a lot to look at and deal with that I didn't even realize was in place, uh, sabotaging me.
Yeah.
And
And,
God knows sabotage isn't a word I would use in my life because it's been wonderful.
yeah.
But there are some things that have recently cropped up.
Hmm.
And I was like, where is this coming from? Why do we? And it turns out the seed was planted in 2009.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, this person has been
And
popping up
because
to
that's
me
what this
too.
is about, huh?
This person has been popping up to me too, but I have not bitten on the class.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm here to tell you about what I run into
I
when I do
love
it. And then you can
it.
decide later.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as I had written in my first note, I said, I teach meditation and I haven't run into this stuff you presented me. So hats off to you. You have blown my mind.
Wonderful.
And not only do you and I both teach meditation, we have studied with some of the best people in the whole field.
Yeah.
So when you come up and you blow me away, you are blowing, baby. Okay. You are a west wind. All
All
right.
right. All
And it
right.
takes a lot to impress me.
So for everybody that's very curious out there, we will post how you can
Yeah.
see this guy. He does
Will for
he
once
does
I
a
know more
lot of
about it, because
reels. Yeah.
I'm only in the first week.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if there's anything in it that is not all that I think this is, then I don't want to put you onto it
Mm-hmm.
with just 3 days in.
Right.
So I will continue to take the course. I'm loving it.
Good.
And cute too. Anyway,
That's it. That's a big deal. That is quite the accolade for him.
well, I got 5 planets in Scorpio. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right. It's important to me.
absolutely. Nice. Nice, nice.
But things are moving and changing and so forth. And I just want to convey that and say, look, even at my age, where you think you have seen everything and done everything twice, there's still new. There's still more. And I am constantly batting off stuff that's coming to me saying, well, try this and look at this. And I'm like, no, at this point in my life, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in
Hmm.
that. I'm only interested in this and trying to be in control. And I think that it's very iconic that runs with us today. Okay, because this is a very momentous point, and the issue of Seth and his projections and what he brought to the world. This is a day of real reckoning for understanding that and saying to all of you out there who have come to us under that umbrella of, hey, we're all talking about Seth.
Hmm.
Well, because you're interested, pat yourself on the back because this is one of the most major things that has ever come into our world. And it has had a major impact.
Hmm.
It is beginning to unfold just as we were told it would.
Yep.
And honey, there are millions of people all joining the bandwagon.
Yep.
So I think it is absolutely a gift from fate that Ron would be here today.
Yeah. You know,
Because
yeah.
that flag is flying.
Well,
And
it's
he's one of the experts. I mean,
he
I don't care
absolutely.
which particular self group you're in,
Mhm.
everybody knows
Everybody
who
knows
Ron
Ron.
is and his influence because he has amassed
Yeah.
the greatest collection of self artifacts on the planet.
Mhm. Not only artifacts, but he has such a wealth of memory and knowledge of his teachings. You know.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So I thank you again.
Mhm.
This is fated. Fated is another word from Saturn. So,
It is, I know.
Saturn is just stomping all over us today, boy.
Yeah, yeah. Seth came up another time for me this week. I started reading a book by Dolores Cannon, and it's an old book. And as I'm reading it, just the very like third page in, I think, was her talking about how she came about this material. She's like, well, I joined this group and I sat down and they were studying the Seth material.
Oh, really?
I had no idea. And I learned from Dolores Cannon, past life regression. I had no idea she was a Seth follower until I picked up this book.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
Oh, that is just stupendous. I didn't
Interesting.
know she was either.
Nope, nope.
And so many people that I admired back in the day, it turns out they were plugged into that. They were
Yep.
plugged into Seth, they were plugged into Jose Silva
Hmm.
and Bert.
Yeah. And it's so fascinating that so many of the channelers don't mention anyone, but they all mention Seth.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I look at Seth as, being maybe an over collective of all of these speakers that people are channeling, I guess, like Abraham. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, that's
first time that Esther Hicks channeled Abraham was at a Seth conference.
really,
Yeah. Jerry he was reading Seth Speaks, I think. And
really.
he wanted to try the Ouija board, and Esther did not want to do it. She wanted no part of it. And then Abraham started coming through eventually, just like Seth did on the Ouija board.
Yes.
And the first public channeling was at a Seth convention. So
Well, I
so
am absolutely impressed.
Seth has brought out so much that I believe he made very few predictions, but this prediction, seems to be coming to fruition. Yeah.
Death is a very, very important part of
Hmm.
the now.
Yeah.
And
He,
it has been growing in importance,
mhm.
so to the extent where a lot of people had no idea about it for the first 20 years.
Right.
But now the momentum is irrepressible.
Hmm. He's so widely respected,
Yes.
that it was done with such authenticity and deliberate precision by Rob and Jane. Yeah, it's wonderful.
It's also interesting to see how the application of all he mentioned is changing, morphing, evolving as more and more of the people in the industry do accept and address it. I mean, the things he was talking about, the concepts, um, in terms of the science of it and all of that,
Mhm.
that is changing for the better.
Yeah.
But my God, it's a tsunami now.
It is. It is. And even people that are not woo-woo or not Seth followers, some of them are scientists, some of them are writers.
Right.
They are using some of the Seth concept and words, and they may not
Yes.
even realize what the implication is to us that understand what they're saying. They innately know it, and the younger people are starting to live it without the knowledge of Seth speaking it, which I think is awesome.
I do too. I'm very, very appreciative of that. And I follow a lot of people who are in adjacent fields who are not necessarily Sethian. They may be into astrology and stuff. And a whole lot of discovery now is happening around all of the Egyptian information.
Yes. Yeah.
And you have a lot more than archaeologists involved now. You've got some of the major polymaths and
Hmm.
philomaths or whatever it's called, polymaths, I think. But
Polymath. Yep.
anyway,
Yep.
people who are deep into physics and mathematics
Hmm.
are all using the same stuff Seth was talking about. They're calling it other things because they're using it in a context other than woo woo, other than,
Yes. Yep.
Ouija boards and stuff.
Right.
But so many of them now are actually feeling free to talk about an esoteric approach. And I think that's hilarious.
It is. Don't you think it's
Even,
cool that everything started on a Ouija board?
yes, and even AI is going there.
It is. Oh my God, I started studying AI. I'm loving it.
I do too.
Yeah,
I
I'm
just
loving
started.
it.
And the first time I sat with it and opened the account and was talking to it, I was so shocked that it could know possibly so much about woo woo and astrology and tarot and blah blah blah. And it talked to me like it was another astrologer. I had no fear.
Oh yeah, I asked it about Seth and knew all about Seth, and they're like, "Where do you want to start?"
Wow. I haven't gone there, but I will.
Yeah,
That sounds fascinating.
absolutely. So all of the information, apparently, all the information that is in the world that has ever been written about or photographed or anything is now in AI.
Good Lord.
Yeah,
Good Lord.
yeah, yeah.
Whew, that's amazing.
I mean, having AI be able to create a photograph from words, I think was amazing. And once you learn how to speak to AI, oh, the things you can get back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm. Yeah.
It was saying to me how surprised it was at the way that I was expressing the esotericness and the spirituality involved in what I was generally saying. I
Yeah.
thought, what do you mean you're surprised? Don't most people talk like that?
Well,
No.
I will tell you all a hint. When we do our meditation, I am going to use some music that I created using AI. That
Oh,
was
that's
my
nice.
my first try at music. Um,
Oh,
so I came up with something that was, totally my own, using words for AI to create music.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. I have heard it, and I think it's really nice and relaxing. I
Oh,
think it's
good,
quite beautiful.
good, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Actually, Carol told me she liked it too, so I got two positives.
This is exciting.
Yeah. So here we are, full moon. We are reaping the benefits of everything that we've been putting out there for the whole first part of the year, and it's been
Yeah.
a pretty rocky year. For most everybody around me has had a lot of ups and downs.
Yes.
And this last month it's been more downs than ups. So this last month has been very difficult, to the people around me, friends and
Yes.
family both. Um, I think we're opening a new door on a new
Yeah.
chapter, and again, put out the intentions of the best and
Hmm.
know what you're asking for. I mean, what you said, Mickey, about
That was my next note that I
oh,
had here was
okay, go ahead, you take it.
no, go right ahead. You
Yeah.
go right ahead. You're just
No.
reading my notes.
That is kind of freaky. But really just know what you're asking for, know what you want, know what's best for you. And if you don't, ask your higher self. Just sit with
Right.
it. Sit in meditation and ask your higher self, what is the best for me? Or just guide me for my highest and best good.
Right.
Make it simple. Everything should be very simple. If it's not simple and it's hard and it's difficult, then it's not
It's
probably
not
right.
right.
Yeah, exactly. Even some of these polymath people, I mean, yeah, when they're talking math, they little bit talk over my head, but they're like, when you break it down to the absolute bare minimum, it is simplistic completely. So,
I agree.
hmm
That goes back to what I was saying about ignorance. I didn't want to be insulting, but I wanted to get your
hmm
attention.
hmm
You need information with which to work. Saturn is about working, but you can't work without tools.
hmm
And sometimes the only tool you need is your intention to be better, do better, know better. And if you have any kind of problem about the way knowledge comes to you, and well, I'm not going to read up a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to. The thing is, when you ask for the guidance,
hmm
ask for it to be simple. And it doesn't mean that somebody's got to come to the door and say, here's what you asked for. No, events are not going to do it that way. You will start to notice synchronicities, though.
Yeah.
Things will pop up and offer you the option of getting more involved or taking a better look at it, etc. Don't ignore those things that crop up in the periphery, the edges of your life. They come up for a reason.
Yeah. I can tell a quick story about one day I was just very distraught, and this is years ago. And I asked, and I'm like, I need a sign. I want to see an angel, and I want to see it in
Oh,
a very, I want to see it in some place that, isn't like a normal place you would see an angel. I want to see an angel.
oh,
I want to see an angel. And then I forgot about it. And later that day, a friend of mine walked through the door. She handed me a bag, and in the bag was an angel. Now,
I
I
like that.
I could not have orchestrated that, said, I want an angel to just walk through my front door. That's
Right.
exactly what happened. So you'd never know how it's going to come to you, and give the universe the freedom to be creative.
Right. I was thinking that, the thing that your beliefs are the cage around what you draw into your life. You could draw absolutely anything. But when you put up these cages, the
Mhm.
fences, as long as it doesn't come like this, and as long as I don't have to do that, and you're pushing your own karmic blessings away.
Yeah,
You can't dictate to your higher self how it has to bring you stuff. It will simply say, you go ahead and do it your way. And when you get through, come back to me and I'll help you.
right.
It'll let you go off on a tangent. Could take you years or decades
Hmm.
to finally come to your senses. But you will finally get to a point where you're willing to accept knowledge from wherever it comes. And at that point, you are ready to learn and move on and so forth.
Right.
Higher
Like,
self will kick in and say, oh, you've come back now. You've come around, have you?
yeah. So like that example I went through, it was a couple of hours.
Yeah. Wow. Really?
That's all
Not
it
even
was.
days.
Not even days. It was the very same day. It was later that afternoon. A couple of hours. And
That's wonderful.
it was that clear. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yep. Yep. And the more you don't put rules on
Yes.
the universe, the
Yes.
quicker things do come to you.
Exactly. That's my point.
And I didn't focus on it. Like I wasn't saying, well, I need to see the angel here. I need to see it now. I don't want to see it in this place or blah blah blah. I just said it and then I kind of forgot it. So it's like that TV commercial. Set it and forget it.
Yes.
But
I agree.
yeah, that's how it works. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I think it's a marvelous system. The more I learn about how it's set up, the more I admire the mind that created it. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean and who you mean.
Spirit is absolutely off the chain.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't imagine creating all this and realizing that we only know about the unbelievably tiniest part of it.
Well, we only know about what we're seeing. You think about all our probable selves, and what each one of them knows is different than what we know.
Right, exactly.
Hmm. Yeah.
And to know that we only are talking about one particular universe. There are an infinite number of them.
Hmm.
I'm finding that out now. There's a whole bunch of us on the planet that suddenly realize, wait a minute, what are you talking about? The universe. There's universes.
Universes. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Edward Grant calls it the universe.
There you go. And we've been talking about Bert Goldman since the first one we've done,
Right,
and parallel jumping is
exactly.
is or quantum jumping is jumping
Quantum
into
jumping.
parallel universes where
Yes,
another me exists that I can learn from, speak to, or teach, right?
yes,
There's also
exactly. It's
the
a
reverse jump.
reciprocal. Yeah, it's a
Yep,
reciprocal. Whatever
absolutely.
it needs, it'll ask
Right.
the other
And
selves.
and that's another thing you could put out there is like, I am totally open to be a reverse jump and to help a higher self that might need to know what I know.
Right.
Yeah. Be open to that.
Yes. Yeah. And get that going back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
That's an amazing thing to experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is. Oh, I
Yeah.
think it's all fascinating. I mean, when we
Yeah.
get this deep, then I get quiet because I'm so impressed.
You're kind of
My
taking it
mind is
in.
my mind is flowing a mile a minute, and I'm like, ooh, and that.
So what's next on your list of notes?
Oh Lord. Oh, you had to go there. Isn't she courageous? Okay. If you feel that you don't know enough to do what you need to do in guiding yourself toward your preferred goals, learn what you need. Why not? Why don't you know? It can have why you don't know can have a direct effect on the goals that we can set as we design our desired and manifested lifetime. And I mean within the levels of knowledge that are active on the planet at this time. You know, have you been able to arm yourself with valid information or not? Take a look at what you're working with, as we like to say. Because this full moon wants you to take responsibility for how far you have come and who you are right now and for what you have in your life right now. Once you take that responsibility and you're aware that you have something to do with what's in your life, then you can more easily say, well, maybe then I want to be sure of how to go about making changes. As you said a minute ago, it'll just come.
Yeah.
You know, it was set up to come in your life. You have things in your life going on because they were the lessons you were supposed to learn. This script was set up to accommodate your lesson plan.
And
So,
who set up that script? You.
yes, indeed, you set it up yourself.
Yeah.
You decided
Yep.
that it was the perfect time to come here and learn that
Hmm.
particular series of truths as who you are. And
Hmm.
you've been adding to that ever since you were born.
Yeah. And sometimes it takes forever. Sometimes
You
it
didn't
takes,
come here knowing how to type. You didn't come here knowing how to do makeup. You didn't come here knowing how to entice the other sex. You know, there's so many things that a baby isn't about that.
right.
That was an entry level position. you know. Um,
Yes.
but you look around at your circumstances, at your physical reality right now, and look at the choices, decisions, and mindset that's called for to be in. So it's been the same theme all day of what I'm saying. Take responsibility, be open,
Hmm.
and go with that.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
and reach out for support.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. That's all part of admitting that there's something you don't know.
Hmm.
You know, there's more to life than going to the PTA. There's more to life than whatever. The mundane things, they're the structure, they're the bones of the life you're living. So, how you flesh that out is up to you. I wish I'd known this at 20.
You wouldn't have believed it. You
There's
know,
so many of the,
it's true. We had to live life to make to learn the journey. Live life to, yeah, that's what we did.
that's what we did.
Yeah.
And
And we're still doing it.
sitting, sitting here looking back at all of it, it is amazing.
Oh yeah.
It
Well, this
really
week
is.
was a huge lesson for me, and Mickey's sitting there and she's like, "I'm so proud of you."
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I
but
did say that.
some lessons we fight, kicking and screaming until we finally give in and say, I get it now. But that's what I've been going through. Yeah,
Yes. I'm proud of us both, really.
absolutely.
I really am.
Mhm.
And I'm so grateful to be able to feel that because not everyone does. So I admit that I understand that there are particular lifetimes that you can choose where the menu of what you can work with is quite different from what I'm blessed to have. So I'm grateful.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, yeah,
Every day I actually say, I have wonderful friends and family that support me all around me. And it's true, I do.
yeah. I
And
feel the same way.
I'm grateful for each and every one of you.
It's funny because all of mine are distant from where I am sitting.
Mm.
So this is a strange period of my life where everyone I know is somewhere else.
Uh, yeah.
So that's strange. That's very strange. I must say that I am putting um, a blessing vibration out there today for a friend that I just lost.
Mm.
So here's to you. I hope you have a wonderful trip. She was a absolutely beautiful person. One
Mm.
of my favorite paintings in the whole world that I've had in my living room was done by her.
Oh,
And it's you've heard me talk about the painting of the black and white, the
yeah.
couple where the guy is white and he's holding a cello or
Hmm.
a super bass.
Hmm.
But you start to realize when you look at it that the brown bass that he's holding is actually the body of his beloved.
Mm.
So when we saw that, we had to have it. And she
Yeah.
didn't want to sell it. And indeed, she never painted again after that one.
Oh.
So I was floored because this woman is very gifted,
Hmm.
was very gifted.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to me. It never occurred to me that she would always be there.
That's the
You
truth.
don't think about those
Yeah.
things.
No, you
So
don't. Yeah.
here's to you, Jenny. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful trip and a great next time.
Yes.
Whatever you do next, I hope it's fabulous.
Yeah. Ah,
It
that was very sweet.
was really, really
Yeah.
interesting to contemplate. Came out of the blue.
Yeah. Nice. Now, she was used to, did she do meditation with you?
Yes,
Yeah.
she
Okay.
did. She was one of the people that took my class in Corfu.
Nice.
And it's interesting because one of the other people from that class got in touch with me today too and doesn't know about Jenny.
But they knew each other?
So yeah, they were both there. Well,
Hmm.
everybody knows everybody in Corfu. It's small.
Okay.
Especially in the expat community, those of us who are not Greek cling together in different little
Okay.
clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, she did, but I did not share what I knew. I knew she would come into the knowledge of it when she was supposed to, because
Hmm.
it's the talk of the place. And so it
Hmm.
wasn't for me um, to change the tone of the communication and message she sent me. She said she had just been thinking about me last night and couldn't imagine that it was so strong.
Hmm.
And she said, well, I just had to get in touch. I know it's late and I just wanted to get in touch. And that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that vibe, those times we shared in Carrefour, all of that has come to the front today.
Hmm.
And I'm cool. I'm cool.
Good.
It was a major time. And Carrefour is paradise.
Someday I'll
Really,
visit.
it really is paradise. I'm shocked. And a person I follow online, has moved to Bali. And as he shows, you and I have talked about that. And as he shows what it's like and so forth, his journey there is coming to a head as well. He's building a restaurant and building a nightclub. So
Hmm.
I can't believe I've been watching it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, she's talking about Darius now.
Yes, yes. He's a mess.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Boyfriend
I,
is a mess.
I remember when he was only here in America
That's right.
back in the
That's right.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, well, now he is quite the well known expert in Bali.
Yeah. Darius is a chef. Yeah.
He is an American chef from Chicago who has now moved to Bali. And
Nice.
he is something else.
Yeah. Well, what else do we have on our list?
Oh, I guess that's about
That,
it.
okay. So, what do you think we're ready to start our journey?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Oh, well, so today's journey, I just, I got intuition the other day about kind of what to do. Not how to get you there, but but once I get you there,
Oh,
what's going to happen? So, I think this one's really going to be like a journey. I mean, just imagine that when you're walking down our steps, that you're going deep down into your heart space, and that's where your meditation room is. And
Oh, that's good.
your heart chakra is going to be your quantum door. So you're going to exit through your heart chakra or your quantum door. And I think with those things in mind, I will take you on a journey.
Oh, that sounds very
Yeah,
interesting. Because I had a note when I was thinking about today's journey, like, I wonder what it's going to be. And it said to me to say to all of you out there about her journey today, remember how much magic you can touch. So,
little.
however that applies, I have no idea, but that's what the message was to say about what you're going to do today.
Yeah. And I want to tell everybody that's listening is there's one woman in particular, and the last two meditations we've done, the two journeys, she has been getting wild impressions that she didn't
Oh,
understand, and they might have frightened her even a little bit at first, and her and I talked about them, and then I encouraged her to journal about them, which she did, and she started remembering more things as she was writing, and she's just having a wonderful time now, um, able to go deep, and she's getting more than she's ever gotten before. Now, she's a personal friend of mine, and she came to me. I would never have known the kind of impact what we do here really makes if she didn't reach out to me. So
oh, that's amazing.
yeah, yeah, it was. It was. And it's amazing for her. And to be able to touch somebody's life and make it more open for them, more I'm I feel like I'm creating a safe space where she
Exactly.
could explore with that feeling of safety that she's knows that I'm right there. And that is what keeps me doing this every single time.
Wow.
Love it. I love it. Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what the next 8 years are going to be about. Safety,
Do you think we're going to be here that long?
unexpected, unexpected
Unexpected
safety.
safety. Oh, that's awesome. Unexpected
Because that's all
safety.
together, especially in terms of your family matters,
Mm-hmm.
and your responsibilities. But
Mm-hmm.
it's all about creating safety. Another word that Saturn is about is legacy.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's where you're putting in the work to very carefully, slowly, Saturn slow, very carefully put in the work to eventually create a legacy of what you want to leave behind.
Nice. Well, everybody should keep those things in mind when we go on this journey.
This is going to be good.
I am going to leave plenty of time for you guys to just do your own thing once I get you to where you're going. So
Yeah.
I know everybody likes that. So yeah, that's
Sit
that's
down and be quiet in that back seat. We're almost there.
that's right. That's kind of the plan. That's a very loose plan. All right, so we are going to turn our videos off, and Mickey, if you could stop your sound, I am going to share the
No
screen.
one has ever successfully shut down my sound.
I get you to do it twice a month. Background. But all I want you to do is keep in mind all of the things that we talked about. You are safe, you are warm, you are coming from your heart space. So we're going to do the 3 to 1 count as always, and then walk down our 10 steps and join in this journey with me. Ready? Take a deep breath in. 3, 3, 3. 2, 2, 2. 1, 1, 1. That is beautiful. taking the breaths like that, it brings us to a deeper, more profound place in our mind, and it also creates a unity with all of us together. Now, as we're standing at the top of the stairs, I want you to envision the steps, 10 of them going down. They're going down into your heart space, where it is warm and safe. And your meditation room is right there. And there's a little fireplace or a candle, but there's something that is lit and burning. Ready? We're going to start on step number 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We are now in our meditation room, deep within our heart space, in the center of our chests. We are tiny, tiny, and we are safe and warm. Now I'm just going to ask that you take a chair or lay on a couch. Just for a moment, we're going to relax into this space of safety. So as I mention a part of your body, you can just focus on it and then release whatever you feel about that area and relax it. So let's start at the top of your head, your scalp, and relax. And now your forehead and your eyes and your cheeks, your mouth. Just part your lips, your teeth slightly, allowing all the energy that's been pent up in your jaw to just be released. Now focus on your neck, and your shoulders. If you feel like they're up near your ears, just let them droop down slowly, slowly, and release any energy you're holding there. Your arms, your wrists, your hands, your fingers. Release any tensions. And now your chest, your upper back, your belly. If you've been holding it in, let it loose. Release that energy. Don't hold back. Your lower back. And think about your spine, from your neck all the way down to your tailbone. Just allow any energies just to flow down. Your hips, your legs, your knees, your calves, ankles, your feet. Wiggle your toes. Again, releasing the last bit of energy that is unwanted, unneeded, or just not yours. Now let's take another deep breath in and out with a sigh. Beautiful. Now that we are completely relaxed, we are going to go on a journey. We're going to stand in front of our quantum door, which is at our heart chakra, and we are going to open that door. It will open on its own on the count of 3. When that happens, you are going to be able to walk out, jump out, fly out, however you want to cross that threshold. And I will see you in our quantum world. Ready? 1, 2, the door is just starting to open, and 3, door is open, and you can see our beautiful quantum world. So step out, and there's a little path right in front of you. And we're going to start walking on that path slowly, thinking about walking. One step, the next step, the next step. And take a moment as you're walking ever so slowly to take a smell of the flowers, the blossoms, the earth, any little animals. Look and see what you can see. What color the flowers might be, how vibrantly green the grass is and all the leaves. Look up and see a bright blue sky with big white fluffy clouds. Now you can hear the rushing of water by your side, a creek. And it all sounds very lovely. You can hear the leaves rustling in the wind, and you can feel the wind on your skin. It's a beautiful summer day, and the sun is shining, but it's very low in the sky. It is probably getting near dusk. It's still warm. You can feel this warm breeze. It blows your hair every now and then, and that's okay. Just push it into place. And we're still walking the path, and you're passing by trees and animals and flowers, and you're perfectly safe. And we're passing by a grove of trees, and on the other side you can see a brighter opening. As we get closer and closer to the opening, the sound of the water is getting quieter and quieter. And you wonder, why is that? And you keep following the path, and now you're coming to the clearing. And all of a sudden, you can see in the distance a bigger body of water. Why? Well, look, it's the daisy pond. And we know that the daisy pond is full of healing water and healing and friendly fishies, little turtles, and a beautiful big daisy in the middle. And we know that we can swim in this water, we can drink this water, we can even breathe this water. All of the above. But for now, you're going to see, as we get closer and closer to the pond, that there are inner tubes. And they are connected to little wooden stakes in the ground. And, well, go figure, but we all have bathing suits on, just like that. Choose a rubber tire, a raft, and sit in this, and we are going to float in the daisy pond. Not only are we going to float in the daisy pond, but the daisy pond is emptying into the lazy river. This river is very slow moving, and it is very smooth moving, and everything about it is healing. And as we float in the lazy river, It is up to you what you choose to bring into your journey. Do you bring in healing? Do you bring in manifesting? Do you have a friend join you? The rest of this journey is up to you. Now I'm going to be silent for at least 10 minutes so that you can enjoy the lazy river. Now know that this lazy river, after 10 or so minutes, is going to loop right around and back into the daisy pond. You are completely safe and secure. Okay? So get in those little inner tubes and float in the lazy river. Oh, and of course, you could take a drink with you, whatever you need. I'm going to be silent now. Now you can see just ahead. You are looping right back to the daisy pond. It's been such a beautiful, peaceful, quiet trip along this lazy river. And you realize how beautiful life is on the lazy river when you don't fight the current and you just let it take you and you flow easily and gently along with it. Now, as you enter back into the daisy pond, it's time to tie up your raft or inner tube, and you can take a little swim if you like in the daisy pond. Visit a little bit with the little fishies. And I'm going to again give you some time to play in the water, because play is just important as going with the flow. You might be meeting some friends here. You might be making new friends here. And when you are ready, you can just imagine yourself back on the path. Imagine yourself back in your dry clothes and start walking back towards your quantum door. And I'm going to give us a few minutes to do this. Now we're almost to the quantum door. Still walking in meditation, waiting for the few stragglers that are coming up, getting closer. And when you are ready, you can wave goodbye. Thank all of the beings that were with you. And join me back inside your meditation room. Good. And now I am going to count to 3, and on the count of 3, the meditation room door is going to close. 1, 2, and the door is starting to close. And 3, the door is closed. But know The door is only closed until you want to open it again and visit your quantum world. And remember, all you need to do is have an intention on what you wish to find on the other side. Now, let's just take a moment in our meditation room to think about everything that just happened, how we felt, who we met, how easy the river held us and took care of us, how beautiful the water was, crystal clear, and how friendly all the little animals were. And then, whatever your special intentions were, you will remember every moment. And I encourage everyone to journal about this when we get back. Now, it is time for us to come back to the here and the now. And I am going to count to 5. And on the count of 5, you will be wide awake, feeling wonderful all over, just like you've had a wonderful long afternoon's nap. You are feeling better than ever. 1, 2, 3. Coming up very nicely and slowly. 4. You can start to wiggle a little bit and stretch. And 5, eyes wide open, wide awake, feeling wonderful all over. Thank you for joining me on this journey on the lazy river. Welcome back.
I believe the broadcast is unrelenting. So I got myself a treat.
I see that. I'm sure
What did it add?
I'm sure they help.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So what did you think about the lazy river?
First of all, I love the music. That was perfect.
I had a little snafu with the music. It played something else too, and then I couldn't stop it from playing it. So
Oh,
I
well, whatever it was, I heard, heard it begin and end and something else in the middle, but it was all really, really appropriate.
beautiful. Well, thank God it wasn't heavy metal.
That would have worked for me too.
Well, me too, but not everybody.
That
Oh,
was really nice, and I'm still quite subdued.
yeah. It's just, it gave me the feeling of being held and nurtured and
Safe.
just gently, safely, just going with the flow. And that's my lesson. That's my
Well,
lesson.
I loved it.
Oh, I'm glad. Thank you.
I really did, and I will be chewing on that.
Oh,
For
Audrey said, wonderful as always. Love the music. Thank you, Audrey. Judy says, damn, girl, you're good at this.
yeah, I had like Buddha
Great
behind
meditation.
me.
Now, Judy has been doing, so Judy is a Reiki master teacher. She's just an amazing woman that I have been good friends with for, God, I don't even know how long, at least 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks,
Well,
Judy.
this was nice. This was really nice. I enjoyed it, and it just had something different in it. And I think that was because there was more of you in it, by you having formed the music sound.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Here I'm trying to just not copyright people.
No, I felt enormously
Hmm.
more accurately connected.
Hmm.
Okay, that's how I'll put it. The connection was purer.
Oh.
Okay.
Do
And
you,
I'll tell you something funny.
what?
Moments before the end, I was told by my friend riding with me to, okay, come on, get this going. We're going back to the door, going back to the Daisy Pond. And I thought, well, it's time's not up yet. Just come on, let's go. And within actually touching the edge of the pond, saying, oh, okay, we're back. And with the last letter of back, you said, oh, okay, now we're going to start. And I'm like, oh, how did you know?
Oh, nice.
I said, okay.
Nice.
Some of us, some
And
folks have good timing.
I guess, and I know you like the longer versions.
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do. And
Judy
it was,
said eternity. I love that.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. It was the sensation of eternity as a concept was infused in every square inch of where we went. Once you go through the quantum door,
Hmm.
that's what you're surrounded by is eternity.
Yeah. Yes.
Tiny, tiny little points of light everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And I hope that everybody could take this with them.
yeah.
Hold on to this feeling that you
Hmm.
have, that you get when you're in these journeys. My friend Carol, she says to me, she goes, Kate, she's like, journeys are way different than meditation. And, it was over a year and a half ago that we decided that, this really isn't meditation. They are journeys.
That's very interesting.
Mhm.
But to me, meditation is a journey. It's a journey inside. You're going in.
And this is the same too. Yes, you go inside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it feels like to me.
Huh. Interesting.
Wow.
I love
Well,
it.
it was
I
lovely.
can't wait till my other friend, I know she's working today, so she usually does the replays, to hear her take on this.
That'll be interesting.
Mm. Karen, I'm talking about you. You know that.
Well, I love it. I really like what you do. And when I said I didn't have any more notes, I didn't tell the truth. I had
Oh,
one that I
okay.
wanted to begin with. And I find the irony of Uranus is that I will end with it. And it was to start out by saying, first of all, thank you to you for doing what you're doing.
I love this.
Thank you so deeply from within all of the places I've been able to experience because of your leadership,
Oh,
you know? And I'm sure a lot of us feel the same way. But then I also wanted to say to all of you, I thank you because I hope you have the slightest idea how rare your that is, how how what a gift it is to be part of the tiny bunch of us on this planet who really are aware of the quantum field and that we want to go into it and learn from it. And it's a tiny group. When you're talking about 8 billion souls, I would venture to say there's less than a billion who are in the beginning wave of all that because it is happening.
hmm
It will be 8 billion at some point, but we're in the very, very beginning, 100 years in even.
hmm
It'll take a while, but this is a wave that will become a tsunami on this planet. The whole planet is evolving. And we're not saying that lightly. This is real stuff. It's changing, it's evolving, it's morphing. into many other ways that it can express the fact that there's life on this planet. And I'm so grateful for every one of you that's sitting here going with us as we tap out in front of ourselves and tap the path and say, how about here? How about here? Can I put my foot here?
Yeah.
And that's literally what we're doing.
Yeah.
I love it, but I can do it because I trust myself. I trust my higher self. I know what I know about what I'm communicating with, and
Mhm.
I respect the purity of that. So I'm grateful to all of. I'm grateful to Kate. I'm grateful to Carol, Karen, and Judy, and Audrey, everybody, and Martin. Hey, you got my heart. So
Of course, of course.
that's
And
our
as
buddy.
you were speaking, the love bubbles were just floating up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see those because
Well,
I'm not on Facebook.
it's our people commenting, the love
Oh,
bubbles.
that's so
Yeah.
nice. Thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
that makes me feel all warm and
It
fuzzy.
really does. I mean, we love all of you guys that come and join us. And, you know, I- if it weren't for you guys, we wouldn't have a reason to do it. But I do think me and Mickey do it anyway.
I was just about to say, you and I would be sitting here saying the exact same things we're saying and say, wow,
Yeah.
did you check it out?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I did this, ooh, and I learned that. And really?
Yeah.
But
But
I
I
haven't
love
gotten
it.
that lesson yet.
But I love it that you guys are here, which gives us reason to actually put something down and make a plan, even
And
if
the
it's a
feedback,
sketchy plan.
the tiniest feedback from you all is magic.
It is magic. Yeah.
There's no other way to put it.
Because you guys are all magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, another affirmation I say every day is just that I am magic.
Yes. And taking the weight for being able to know you are magic,
Yes.
being really open to touching more and more of it as it presents itself,
Mhm.
and it will. It does present itself all through the day. I mean, all kinds of strange little things happen in my house. So, but I have a weird life. Hey, you
Well,
know how I know? Because you're in it.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm gonna think about next time we get together. I got my calendar out here. Um, it is going to be for the new moon, and it's going to be the 23rd. Yeah, yeah, the 23rd. It's a Wednesday. Um,
Right.
23rd of July. And then the one
Yeah.
after that, Mickey and I are going to have to record because I think I'm going to be traveling on the road, so I won't have good internet access.
Oh,
Next, the one at, so the next full moon will probably be recorded, but
okay.
we'll talk more about that at the new moon. So
Okay.
enjoy all the fruits of your labor, of all of the, work you've put in and accept it.
Yeah. Get out there and get moving, folks, because we got quite a journey ahead of us.
Yeah. And just remember that you are safe and you are held. And
Right. We got great trip insurance.
I love it. Oh, Mickey, you have a wonderful evening.
You too, and
And I
all of
want to,
you.
bye bye. Love all of you.
Take care, everybody. Bye.